He woke up early in the evening. Mikuru could see the dream he had just escaped from really got to him. He was clutching at his throat like he was gasping for air. Hell, he was probably one step away from sweating and hyperventilating. After a few moments, he became aware of the weight of Mikuru's stare, but he didn't look at her. "Nothing's wrong with me, so there's no reason to be concerned," he quickly said, his eyes shifting in every direction, but never at her. She didn't say anything, finding his anxiety unsettling in itself. He slid back in his chair in an almost back-breaking slouch, and he sighed. "Yay, come lay down here," Mikuro said. "I'm not a child. It would help you relax. Like I said, I don't need to sleep in someone else's bed just because I had a nightmare or something. Well, it'll help you relax more than such in a chair like you are." He looked down at the chair, sighed, and walked over, and climbed to the bed. After a slight hesitation, she continued to sit at the foot of the bed, staring at the wall as she listened to his settling in. She almost looked around when she heard him rolling over, trying too hard to get comfortable. After a few moments of the anxiety sitting in suspended animation between them, she looked over her shoulder. His back was turning towards her. She knew why. She looked away again. "So, do you want to talk about it all? What, you like to talk about feelings now? You also want to know how my day was, too? Oh wait, you already asked that. That's so different, is it? Fucking... that's not why I'm asking. That's why I asked the other question either. What's the matter? The result will be the same anyway." "Well, I'm just saying..." She turned around, reaching out to touch him, then she paused. "Is it okay if I touch you?" He rolled over and looked at her like she was stupid. "Since when do we have to ask permission before we touch each other? You never asked me that before. Besides that, we're in the same bed anyway." "I don't even want to know what you're implying by that." "You know what I meant by that? So you see nothing weird about the situation? We're missing the point, you know that?" She put the hand on his shoulder, clutched it for a moment, and softened her grasp. "If you just get it out of you, you'll start..." "It doesn't matter. It just doesn't." Slapped her hand away as he sat up, his back still to her. "It's just going to end up the same way it always does. As long as I take the time to make sure it stays false, it won't have to matter. It's just a dream and it's over now." "What do you mean by that it always does?" He cocked a brow and he sighed. "Fine. I've had these dreams, and it'll somehow come true, but not really." He looked at her again, knowing she didn't understand. "Okay. Once I had this dream that I was cornered by this guy, and this was not long after my surgery, so it was pretty weak for the record. And he was pretty strong, and he asked me where I was from. I told him I was from Ryzen's territory, and he blew me to pieces. A few months later, same thing happens. Guy has me in the corner. I don't have a weapon on me to really fight back, and he asked me where I'm from. I lied and told him Gandara. He turned around and walked away. And this other time I killed Torokine for what he did to Yukina, and Spirit World came in and put me to death. That's why I didn't kill him that day. And when I was going to leave, I had this dream that I should say something to her, Yukina, because I was going to be the last time I'll see her. Same thought ran through my mind when I was leaving. Does it make any sense now?" "Well, sure, but I want you to know that it's not the last time you see her. You could always leave. If you never revived me, it would have been. The way you keep mentioning that, it's like you really want me to go." "No." He laid back down as she said this. "I just don't want you feeling like you're chained down and you have to stay with me. It's nice that you're still with me." He laid back too. He glanced at her. "This is too strange," he sat up. "Just lay down." Fine, I won't touch you though. That's even better, because I will hurt you if you do. What the hell is your problem? I'm putting all my cards on the table. What's yours? Groaned as he laid back. Ugh. A few minutes passed. With her eyes still to the ceiling, she asked, "So was the case this time?" She turned to him when he was silent. "I'm going to guess that you're going to say it doesn't concern me." And the unspoken agreement was that it would. It also looked like stopped out was out of the question. He could have just not answered. It might have been better if he didn't answer. He glanced at her and turned his eyes to the ceiling. "I died. And he found my body maybe 3 hours later." Shut his eyes and sighed. "I lied. I'm being honest right now, I lied." No, he didn't. They both knew he didn't. They both knew that the other was aware of the lie. Another unspoken agreement, but this one didn't follow through. "I know you did. You should give yourself a break and be honest." "I saw how you died. That was the first part. And I found the body. And I just sat there for the longest time. I took the blade, thought about killing you myself. I just hope that have enough sense to go on without you. You don't have to worry about it. I won't get myself killed, and you can live without me." Not really. Who is he speaking for now? Right now, he thinks so. But you will be able to live on. I know you will. There was dirt under her nails before she knew it. She could feel it packing tighter and tighter under them, shoving the cuticles down. She could feel the miniature trenches she created in the dirt. How long had she been sitting there like that? How long had she been clawing at the ground? Shit. This is so backwards. I was supposed to be the one to die first, and you were supposed to be the one who lives on. But hell, whose fault was it that had to happen? It's like a twisted version of the unfaithful wife who gets knifed by a random assassin. The question would be, who is the one at fault, since there will always be someone at fault. A practical person would say that was the person, or people most likely, that here and now, who had the weapon in their hand. The poetic justice advocate would say was the wife, here and now, for going out the way they did. The out-of-the-box thinker would say was the husband, here and now, her, who forced the other to go out like that. Who was she kidding? She saw the signs. She could have been more persistent and made him tell her what was going on. Why didn't she? He walked in that day, took his usual spot in the chair, started to drift off like he always did. Slid further into the chair and shifted uncomfortably. "What'd you do?" Makuro asked. "What do you mean?" He said more of a statement than a question. In fact, he wanted that last bit of poison to cut it all off. But it wasn't enough poison. "You look torn up is what I meant. I always look like this." "Okay, if that's the case, then why is there a bruise on your left cheek?" "It's not a birthmark. I know what you look like." He unconsciously put a hand on his cheek and cringed when he put a bit of pressure on it. "I fell off the tree when I was sleeping and I hit a rock. Something that you should worry about." Makuro knew a thing or two about bruises. She had had plenty of her life. She also knew a thing or two about being assaulted by a blunt object. "No, that's fine." "Meaning what?" "You know what?" "No, I don't." She got out of bed and started to walk out. "You don't have to lie about stuff like this to me." can understand whatever it is that's going on. I'm not condemning you. You shouldn't even lie about this kind of thing at all. He walked in the room and laid down next to her. Their backs were pointed at each other, and they stayed that way for a moment. In silence, leaving an empty gap between them, growing larger and larger by the second. You know, you could always leave, Crow asked. You always ask me that. I always ask you the same question. Do you really want me to leave? I don't want you to go. I really don't. I'm happy the way things are, but it's just like I keep telling you. I don't want you to feel like you're tied down here. I don't know why you stay here if... No, she knew the reason why he does. He's just not loose enough in the head to say it. Neither is she. Because where I'll go, you won't be there. It's corny as fuck, and I know you only hear shit like that in some bad romance or something like that, but that's the only way I can put it. I'm sure if I asked you why you want me here, I'm sure you'd say the same thing. Something that's just as bad. Oh, you might say the same thing. No I won't. Bullshit. I really need to watch her language sometimes. He rolled over, and with every word that came up from his mouth, jabbed her in the back with the finger. Fucks, cocks, dicks, goddamn fucking bitch, cunts, tits, ass, piss. And fuck the fucking fuckers. It didn't make any sense. There was another long silence. But really, yeah, if you're so bored here, then you can just leave. You don't really need me, and you can go on without me if need be. That's not true. The first part is, okay, maybe we really don't need each other, but I want to be here because I want to be here with you. Because you know something? Okay, you need to stop me. I can smell the shit I'm spewing. Why does that hurt? But that's not the point here. Why are you coming back looking beat up? You're not really as happy as you think if you're going around picking fights. I'm not picking fights, it's just dumb luck. Whatever you want to call it. But you don't need to be fighting like you are. Come home more and more beat up. I don't think you're trying anymore. He rolled over and pulled her so she would face him. He stared down at her, figuring out the next move. Then he shook his head. Okay, you got me. I've been doing that. But I'm not the one picking fights. They see me, know who I am, and what I've been up to, and they challenge me. I can't walk away from a challenge, can you? And just go back to the human world until it calms down. I won't. You're getting weak, Makuro, you know that? I'm not being weak, I'm just worried about you. You shouldn't be coming back torn apart like this. This is an ongoing problem. I don't think... Just don't do it anymore. If you're not going to try, then just stop fighting. As soon as I stop breathing. Then just... Put her hand over his mouth, silence her. Shut the hole. After a few seconds, he looked down at her and took his hand away. There was more silence. He mumbled some apology, and it stayed silent. He glanced at her again. Apparently he felt that space also needed to be closed.